Hello, so today I want to take you through my 30-20-10 routine. A lot of my videos recently have been kind of like very salesy and scripted, like talking head video, and so I was like, you know what, we need something that's a little more casual, we need something a little more chill. So I'm going to take you through my routine today, just kind of like show you. So the first thing I do, the first part of like the 30-20-10 routine is 30 minutes of physical activity. So what I do is I get up at 6:30 and then at 7 I go right into like going on a walk or going on a bike ride, and I just like to do that for 30 minutes. Fitness I wouldn't say is one of my like main goals. It's something where like I care about it and like I don't want to be unhealthy, but it's not one of my like main goals. So I don't put like that much attention to it. If it was a main goal, I would put more effort into it. So basically I'll like go on a walk for 30 minutes or something easy, you know. I'm not trying to like push myself super hard to do something. I'm just trying to get in the routine of being active, getting 10,000 steps. So yeah, I thought this morning we'd go on a bike ride. So yeah, come on the bike ride. So this morning routine, I've called it like the 30-20-10 morning routine. So now we get to the next 20 minutes. I heard this really interesting principle a few years ago, and it was if you have too many thoughts, write, and if you don't have enough thoughts, read. And so the way I've applied that is if I'm ever feeling anxious, like because of like overstimulation or something, which I feel like can be really easy to do. It's so easy to just overconsume content, then I will write. And then if I need ideas, I'll read, like if I need ideas for a YouTube video or something. So I like to journal every morning. I like to just brain dump all of my thoughts, things that I need to process. And so that's why like in my planner, I'll show you when I get to a little bit later on, but there's a place for the insights because I want to like remember what was my insight of the day, like what did I learn after the journaling. So that's what I'm going to do for the next little bit is like journal, read the Bible, process, pray about things, think about things. So I should mention too that I'm completely off social media. So I would say several years ago, probably 2020 or so, I got off Facebook, and then probably 2021 I got off Instagram, and then I quickly replaced that with Reddit, and so then I just got rid of Reddit at the start of this year. So I'm completely off all social medias besides YouTube, and for YouTube I have an extension called Unhook, which is really good, and you can pick what you want to be there. Like, do you want the homepage? Do you want end screens? Do you want a suggested video? So you can pick either all these toggles that you can pick what you want. So I've got everything turned off. So basically because I need to be able to post videos on YouTube, but I don't want to watch YouTube. So I have everything turned off just so I can post, but then I won't see anything. So yeah, so I'm completely off social media. I also set up my phone as like a child's phone. So I asked Garrett if he would be kind of like the parent or whatever. So he has the passcode. So I've only given myself access to Safari for 15 minutes per day. My screen time's been so good. It's been probably like, I think it's been an average like 35 minutes or so. And that's just because sometimes I'll film with it. Sometimes if I do overhead shots in particular, I'll film with my phone because it doesn't really focus on any one thing in particular like a camera does. So yeah, so that's what I've been using it for that, but mostly I'm just like hardly ever on it for texts every now and then, but basically I'm like never on it. So I feel like that cleared up a lot of time. So yeah, I did my journaling. Let me show you in my planner. This is a digital download, by the way, but I'm using it as a physical version. Sometimes I get questions like, is this a physical version? Is this what is this? So this is it's a digital download, but I printed it off to have a physical version for myself. And there's like an FAQ page on my website if you happen to be interested about that. So yeah, this is the planner. So at the top, there's a gratitude, insights, what would make today intentional, and then a checkbox for the intentional morning. So basically, I do my gratitude during the journaling, and then when I do the journaling, whatever insight comes up, I'll write down, and then I just write down what 3 things would make today intentional. So like for me, like getting a lot of outside time today would make today really great, or getting a coffee is something that gets put on there sometimes, or let me look at some ideas of things I've put there before. Have a chill, rainy, cozy vibe, put on some music. Yeah, play music while I'm doing this. Go to Sephora. Go on a walk with Garrett, plan a date with Garrett. So just, stuff like that. Like, how can I make the day a little bit more fun, a little bit more intentional? Because it's easy to kind of go through the motions. So then I sit down with my planner and I kind of review, okay, what did I have planned for myself today? So for today in particular, I just had to film this vlog and then edit this vlog. So what I'll do is I'll start editing the footage as I go. So I'll like film a little bit, edit a little bit. That's a little atypical because I don't usually do vlogs, but so yeah, that's what I think I'm going to do. The other thing is I've been taking Ali Abdaal's course. It is really good. And I'm doing like the accelerator version. So there's like a lot of like calls with him and stuff. That's what, oh, I don't know if I ever updated you guys. So I had those plan with me videos. I have that series, which I'll link, where I was like taking you into the like planner and how to use the planner, and I was sharing my goals. And in that video, I talked about how I want to launch something at the end of this quarter, but I didn't know what it was. So I was going to spend all of like January figuring that out. So that has been figured out. So basically what I decided was I was going to do a course all of January. So that's what I'm really focusing on, this course all of January. I'm trying a lot of stuff out. You can probably tell from like the intros of videos. He's recommended a lot of sales books. And then once you hear these sales templates, it becomes really obvious. Like, for example, like in an intro to a video, you say what the person wants, and you don't use the word I, you use the word you, which I think sounds kind of manipulative. So I'm trying to figure out how to balance some of this. My retention, I need to post the retention graph. I implemented these techniques. My retention graph, it was like perfection after I implemented these things, but it feels a little fake to me. So I'm trying to balance things here. So you say the word you, not the word I. You use promise, like the promise what they're going to get. You refute things that they've commonly heard before, and you say it's going to be easy. And sometimes they'll throw authority in there, like what you're, like, I've been doing this for 4 years, or I'm a doctor, or whatever. Anyways, then once you see it, it's in all of like these educational personal development videos, which I think that is so fascinating. I've just been seeing it everywhere. Just you take those pieces, these like building blocks, and you shuffle them around a little bit. The other thing was that I've been implementing a lot is instead of like saying the point, like it'd be like, point 1, you should journal. You should journal because of X, because Y, because Z. But what they do is actually, to increase retention, is you flip the order. So you might say, point 1 is the 30-20-10 method. And so it's this thing that people don't know what it is. So they're like, I want to keep listening. Then you say all the reasons you need it. And then at the end, you say what it is. So instead of like giving it away right at the beginning, saying journaling, you say journaling at the end. So then it feels like people, otherwise it makes people feel like you're kind of dumb if they're like, yeah, okay, journaling, we get it. But if you have something new to say about journaling, they're not going to stick around if you say journaling right away. So that's been fascinating. Anyways, my retention went so much better, but it just makes everything feel a little fake. You know what I mean? It just feels like I'm just getting kind of this weird place where some things are clicking, and now that some things are clicking, I'm like, do I want those things to be clicking? It's just, I'm having this weird balance, which I feel like a lot of people have. It's just this weird balance between effectiveness and sales and views doing well with authenticity, because there's pretty much a guarantee that this video is not going to do very well. I'm not employing any of the techniques here. I'm just sitting here talking to the camera or whatever. But the point of this video is kind of like a deepening video, I suppose, or it's just like, I don't know, talk for real, I guess, about things, I just want to let people know, like, okay, I know I'm being a little salesy. I'll dial it in. I'll rein it in a little bit. I'm trying to figure out how to not be salesy, but keep the retention, because the salesy things work, as it turns out. So I'm learning some stuff. So testing it out, trying to figure out the bounds of exactly, what will get results but still feels okay to me. Okay, so while we're in this video, let's talk about actually how to create a routine. So a lot of times what people do is they're like, okay, I'm a night owl, so I'll go to work and then I'll come home and I'll work on my passion project when I get home from work because I'm a night owl. But a lot of people find that doesn't end up working for them, because it's not really about like, are you a night owl or a morning person? It's just about decision fatigue, which everyone has decision fatigue, or just things go unexpected. Like, no matter if you're a morning person or a night owl, as the day goes on, there's a higher and higher probability that something went wrong, or something tired you out, or something didn't go as planned. So if you set aside the first portion of your day for the thing that matters to you the most, there's less likelihood that something's going to go wrong and like throw the day all out of whack. So like I experimented when I was first doing my YouTube channel with a bunch of different routines. So I think my first idea was I was going to teach, and then I would come home and immediately get into YouTube, and then we would cook dinner and stuff. But I just found that there was a lot of, like, we'd have, like, evening events. Like, we'd have kind of sporadic, like, things with friends or things with church. Or there'd be stuff in the evenings that was just, like, people want to socialize in the evenings. A lot of times that's when friends want to hang out. You know what I mean? So it's kind of good to have that space open. I felt like relationships were being sacrificed at that point. And then I also found, because I didn't really like teaching that much, and, like, the reason I wanted to start a YouTube channel was so I could get out of teaching, I found that, like, when I got home from work, there was just all this like junk going on, and it just never felt like it. I would just get home and be like, ugh. I'd just be so like energy drained and exhausted, which was the reason I wanted to get out teaching anyways. So then I was like, okay, that's not working. That was trial 1. So you try that for a week and you see how it's working or not working. And then I tried putting it in the morning, but teaching is one of those jobs that starts relatively early. Like I had to be at work at 7:15. So what I would do is I would go to a coffee shop from 6 to 7, and then from 7 to 7:15 I would drive there or bike there. I was biking a lot when I was working too. So I decided that I had to work on YouTube in the morning. And that was really game changing, and it was really game changing when Garrett would go with me to the coffee shop. So yeah, I think that that's been really good. Just experimentation. I think a lot of people kind of undervalue just how much experimentation will really do. Like if at first you don't succeed, try something else. You know, you got to like product test some things. So I was going to show you us making dinner, but I forgot that we're going to some friend's house. We're going to have dinner with them. If you like the vlog vibe, I will have linked a video from when we first moved to SF, and it was kind of a vlog. And then also from 2 years ago, if you want to get deep in the archives, like 2 years ago when I was still living in Idaho and I was dreaming about living in SF and I was first making the planner for the very first time, the vision book, that version 1. If you want to go back in the archive and watch those vlogs, I'll have that Vlogmas linked as well.